Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we are testing out a full face of makeup dupes. Now, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but this is how the look came out. This is also the blue part of my rainbow series. Right now I want you guys to go into the comments down below and guess which side is drugstore and which side is high-end. This side is my right and this side is my left, so go comment that down below. And with that all being said, let's jump right on into the video. So I already did what I'm going to be doing for the eyes, really, except for the inner corner portion because I don't have any dupes. Super simple, but I do have a mascara for the eyes, and so I'm going to have a drugstore on this side and high-end on this side. On the Dupe Boss Instagram, it says that the Essence Volume Stylist Lash Extension Mascara is a dupe for the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara, so we're going to test these out. Again, drugstore on this side, high-end on this side. Now, this won't be like a full true test because I am going to apply some falsies. Let's give it a go. I'm going to first apply the Essence one. And I have used both of these mascaras before. I think I've had the Essence one a little bit longer than the Tarte one, and so it's like a little more of a drier formula at the moment. And just from trying this mascara, I've never really been blown away by it. But let's go ahead and go on into the Tarte one. Now I want to say that I've had both the Essence and the Tarte one for the same amount of time. The Essence one dries up a lot faster. This side of my lashes look a little more clumpy than this side, but again, this could be more dried up. Let's compare wands really fast. So they're both a little bit of like a natural bristle wand. The Tarte one is a little more straight, whereas the Essence has like a little bit of a curve in the middle of it. And because this is more of a drier formula, my lashes look a little more clumped together and a little more volumized, whereas the Tarte one is a little more of a wetter mascara and they look more separated and full. All in all, over the two, I would prefer the Tarte one just because of the wand and like the consistency of it. I don't know, maybe I'll try it again when they're both fresh, brand new. See if that's a thing. But I'm gonna go apply some lashes off camera and then we'll go on into the skin. Now time for the face. So I asked you guys actually on my Instagram as to which primer I should dupe, and everyone that voted told me to test out the putty primers. It was either between the putty primers or the pore filling primers, such as like Benefit Professional, the NYX Pore Filler, those two. So I can do a part 2 to this video if you guys want, but I'm testing out the Tatcha Silk Cream Silk Canvas and the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I have tried both of them. This is a travel size of the Tarte one. This is the full size, and even then it's about like a $12 difference. So again, I'm going to apply drugstore on this side, high-end on this side. I'm just going to scoop a little bit out on some tweezers, and then I'm going to take this and apply it on like the sides of my nose, my forehead, my chin, and then anywhere else. And I did apply a base primer to both sides, like all over my face, because that's just how I like to use this product, is with having a base primer underneath and then this on top. So far, the Tatcha one feels a little bit like the thicker side just compared next to each other. I don't know if that could be a good thing or a not so good thing. Looking up close, I can't really tell. In a way, it looks like this side's pores are a little more filled. This side looks a little more dewy. This side looks a little bit more matte. But let's apply foundation over top and see what it looks like. For that, I have the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation duped with the Huda Beauty Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation. Hopefully these are the same color. Both have a pump. This, just by like feel, this feels a little more luxe than this. Even though this is like 4 times the price than the Maybelline one. But that could be they're putting more of their money into the formula, whereas they want this to feel a little more luxe. You get more in this foundation than this. I haven't used the Maybelline foundation in a little bit. And I have 2 separate sponges so that we don't cross-contaminate, cross-blend the products. I'm going to apply the Maybelline one first, just straight on the Beauty Blender, bounced into the skin. And I am not duping sponges in this video. This is, my sponges are the exact same. They're the Beauty Bakery Blending Egg sponges. And I'm gonna blend it in the center just so that we don't have like foundation lines. So a little bit of foundation went over to the other side. So when I compare, I won't be looking at my nose, I'll be looking at the neck, cheeks, and forehead. Now time for the Huda Beauty one. Right off the back, the Huda Beauty is a lot thicker and they're very close in shade. The Huda one does have a little bit of a smell. Foundation shades aren't too far off. Looking up close, the Huda one has just the tiniest bit of more coverage. They are pretty much the exact same foundation, which is great. I really just think that the Tatcha one is a slight bit thicker, which gives like a thicker layer of primer on top of the skin, which makes your skin look more plump and like airbrushed. But that could also be because this foundation is super thick as well. So far, just like the high end side is a lot thicker, but I'm not seeing a huge difference. Concealer, I have the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer and the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Gonna start off with drugstore side first. We're gonna do my eyes first. Never do this. That is weird. Everyone says that the Tarte Shape Tape is a super thick concealer, but I'm finding that this went more on like a paste, whereas this went on like a creamy concealer. I almost did the same sponge for this side. Colors aren't really the same, but coverage wise, oh my god, it's my lash. Tarte one still has more coverage. Which one do you guys prefer so far? Drugstore or high-end? I'm kind of leaning more towards the high-end side just because of how much coverage I'm getting. But for an everyday basis, I go with drugstore products because I don't need to be full glam all the time. But for special occasions, I definitely go with more high-end products. Now for powders, we have Airspun and Laura Mercier. And just because I want to set my other eye really fast, this one looks a little more pink than the Laura Mercier, but let's test it. That's kind of how I felt like with the foundation, not foundation concealers. So this might be a little more on the cooler side and this might be a little more on the warm side. Doing where like they meet in the middle is like probably the hardest part of this entire thing. And after we set, I will do a flashback test. I'm gonna fix up my brows really fast before I go on to bronzer and also take a flash test. So while I was off camera, I took a flash photography photo, and in the picture you can definitely tell that the Maybelline foundation has a little bit less coverage. You can see my redness and everything peeking through, and if any side had like a flashback, it was this side. But I just feel like this side is a little more brighter just because it has more coverage. For bronzer, you probably wouldn't expect this to do because I haven't seen it anywhere, but it's the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in the shade Sunkissed and the Benefit Hoola bronzer. I have it in the Cheekathon palette, but that's actually what I did on my eyes today, and I can't really tell the difference. So going in e.l.f. side first, and we are bronzing up. Now onto Benefit side. I've wanted to dupe the Hoola bronzer for a while now, and so I went through all my collection, went through my entire collection of bronzers, and I found this dupe. It's going on a little patchy on this side for some reason. Hoola bronzer just went patchy, and it could just be because I need a new one. I'm gonna clean up my nose. Well, first underneath my cheeks, and then on the sides of my nose. Blush. I just barely found this blush dupe today, and it's the Milani powder blush in the shade Romantic Rose and the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in the shade Party. I was excited about this dupe. I'm gonna apply the Milani one first, and now for the Tarte one. And we all know that this blush is what turned me on to blush in like the first place. So far I haven't been able to tell a difference, but if you guys can, leave it in the comments down below. And which side do you prefer, drugstore or high-end? Now for highlight. I had purchased this at the VIB sale, the CoverGirl palette, and I don't know if you guys know what this one looks like. Let me just, it's not like the exact same thing, but what? So I'm going to take a mixture of the first and last shade on both of them. Let's do a swatch comparison first. Smashbox, CoverGirl. CoverGirl looks like it's a little more on the metallic side, which I prefer. Drugstore first. Mixture of the first and last shade. And I'm going to spritz it with the drugstore side. I'm going to spritz it with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Rose spray. Now for the high end, the Smashbox. First and last shade. And for the high end side, I'm going to spray it with the MAC Fix Plus, the rose one. This I just feel like it's a little more metallic. This is just not my favorite, but still very similar. Let's actually mix it and swatch it on the hand. So we have CoverGirl and Smashbox. Very similar. And now brushing away this bake, I am just going to go in with a different highlighter for the center of my face, just to keep it even. And for that, I just use the face shade from the Morphe and James Charles palette. I'm going to do this center color, the inner corner color, really fast. So I went ahead and did like the inner corner portion, just like the color. And for that, I used the James Charles palette and I mixed the shades Playground and Flashback together in the inner corners. Now for like the giant pop of color, like really make it pop, we are using the Nomad Light Infusion Powder and the City Color Glow Pro Stellar Iridescent Highlight in the shade Nebula. Don't look very similar in the pans, but on the eyes, just you wait. So I'm going to start with City Color on the drugstore, and need to be up close for this. And I am going to spray the brush just so we can get that true. Oh yeah. Now for the nebula side, applying some to the brush, spraying with some Fix Plus. Now the Nomad one is more of a finishing powder. I am obsessed. Mascara on the lower lashes. Now for the lips, I only have glosses to test out, so I'm gonna first line my lips with just a neutral lip liner. And we have a gloss to test out. I saw this and I don't think this is gonna be a dupe. We have the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow and the Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper in the shade Prismatic Peach. Let me just swatch them. Fenty, Milani. Still going to test them. This side is a little bit lighter than this side, but they still give the same glossy finish. So if you find a shade that you like in the Milani glosses, I'd highly recommend picking them up. But those are all the dupes that I'm testing out in today's video. Let me know which side you guys prefer, drugstore or high-end. Face products, I prefer drugstore, but like face products and eye products, but for foundation and primer and concealer, I prefer the high-end side. Pick and choose as you will. If you guys want me to test out some more dupes in the future, let me know in the comments down below, or let me know by thumbsing up this video. Follow me on all my socials, SassyMaddieYT, see what's spelled here, both Twitter and Instagram. Go follow my brand, Sassy Beauty, all links down below, and go shop my Poshmark. I have tons of clothes that are going up there, as well as like makeup bags and some makeup. With all that being said, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.